Well, it may be a mild 50 degrees down here in the valley, but up on Lee Canyon Road, it's hardcore winter tonight. It's so cold, one man is suffering from mild hypothermia after he took a walk in the snow trying to find his way out of the icy conditions. Dave Malkoff is live tonight with a look at a long, cold walk.
Well, Michael, you know how nasty it is up there. Eddie Moore and his girlfriend spent some time. They went up there at 4 a.m. this morning to do some four-wheeling, but they ended up crashing and ending up in a snow ditch. Now, let me give you a demonstration here. It is about as cold out there as it is inside this ice chamber here, but the only difference is I could leave at any time. Eddie had to walk for 2 miles to get out of there. It took him 3 hours to do that and walk to safety. Now, if you look at his truck out there, this is where he crashed, and Eddie's girlfriend stayed behind in the truck because the heater was running and she was okay inside there, but the area is so remote it is hard for help to find you or you to find help. So Eddie got out and walked until he could find I-157 and a warm ambulance. He was simply not prepared.
No chains. I have a big four-wheel drive and it got stuck.
Now, this is the man who came to his rescue, Ben Schwartzbaugh. He is one of Eddie's best friends, and tonight at 11 we will have his story of survival. Now, keep in mind, I've only been in here for about a minute and my fingers are starting to freeze, so we're going to get out of here. But Eddie was in there for 3 hours while he was walking that 2-mile distance. An amazing story of survival, Mike.
Dave, does Eddie have any advice to share from his experience?
Well, actually, he does. He says that no matter how big your truck is, no matter how you think that you can get out of those kind of conditions, you really need to think before you go through that snow.
Yeah, it doesn't take long to get cold.
Certainly
All right, Dave,
doesn't.
we'll see you later tonight. A man crashed his car and walked for 3 hours before he could find help in the freezing Lee Canyon area this morning. This is the area we're talking about. At 4 a.m., Eddie Moore and his girlfriend went out for some four-wheeling in the snow when they crashed into a tree and rolled into a ditch. News 13's Dave Malkoff is live tonight. He picks up the story from there. Dave?
Well, Michael, we all know there are not many places in the Las Vegas Valley where you can find a hunk of snow. That's why we are at the ice sculpture room where they store all the ice sculptures for the casinos. Look at this. It is now 32 degrees inside this ice studio here, and that is not much warmer than it is up on Lee Canyon. But the man who got stranded there today was up there for 3 hours in the cold looking for help.
Lee Canyon is miles from anywhere. Eddie Moore was miles from help when he crashed his truck there early this morning. Against the odds, Eddie had cell phone service and he called his buddy Ben Schwartzbaugh.
Nah, he didn't say a whole lot, to tell you the truth. He's kind of not all there right now, so.
That's because the ambulances were having a tough time getting through. Eddie decided to jump start the rescue. He got out of his truck and walked, and walked, and walked, leaving his girlfriend behind.
After a while, it finally started getting a little nervous, and we were a little nervous after that. We didn't know if he was hurt, what was going on. We didn't know if he ran out of gas and they didn't have any heat.
The two friends were cut off from each other. Eddie stranded on the snowy mountain.
After a couple hours, he couldn't find me, so I decided I better hike out. I hiked out about 3 hours.
It was that long before Eddie found Highway 157, Metro Police, and a warm ambulance. He simply wasn't prepared.
No chains. I have a big four-wheel drive, and you get out there that far and you'll get stuck.
When rescue workers finally found Eddie's truck, his girlfriend was fine. The engine had never stopped. After the walk, Eddie felt
cold, hungry. I'm gonna go to McDonald's, get me some chicken McNuggets.
And you can bet those plans are far away from Lee Canyon.
At least he has his sense of humor. Doctors say he'll be all right despite some mild hypothermia. And let me tell you, I've only been in here for a couple of minutes with photographer Quincy Thomas, and we are starting to feel it in our fingers. So let's kind of get out of here. Now, just remember that Eddie was inside that kind of cold for 3 hours before he could get out and warm up. Michael?
Yeah, it doesn't take long, Dave. Even a cell phone isn't a lifesaver up there, right, even though it helped him?
Well, the authorities up there say that the cell phones are almost no help when you're so far away from the city because the cell phone service is spotty at best. So if you want to go up there, just make sure you have a good vehicle that you can get around it.
Oh, that is scary. All right, Dave.